we're headed into our very first round of lightning talks. So this is a new format we're bringing to Meridian, where we're giving the innovators, entrepreneurs, and companies in the Stellar ecosystem to give you a 5-minute glimpse into what's going on in their worlds. And starting us off is actually a member of the ecosystem calling in remotely. So we're going to see how this goes. Hope you're all ready for an adventure. Ian Bode from Ondo Finance. Ian, are you there, and can you by chance hear me?
Hear you.
Oh, and we can hear you. Okay, over to you for our very first lightning talk. Take it away.
Wonderful. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Ian Bode. I'm the Chief Strategy Officer at Ondo Finance, and I'm delighted to join everyone today virtually to share some very exciting news. USDY, our leading tokenized treasury fund, is live on Stellar today. To set the stage on why this is a big deal in the first place, it's worth starting the foundation of Stellar's unique differentiation historically, which is really financial inclusion powered by stablecoins, the breakthrough that made digital dollars accessible worldwide. Stablecoins unlock something truly profound, the ability to make the US dollar instantly available to anyone with an internet connection. Stellar has always led the way in financial inclusion, and stablecoins are an amazing representation of that. But stablecoins, unfortunately, are not perfect. They don't offer yield, and they have very limited investor protections. Today, Ondo and Stellar are partnering up to offer something even better and redefining financial inclusion in the process. So for those of you who do not know Ondo, Ondo is a company that puts traditional financial assets like stocks, ETFs, treasury on chain. We do this because we believe that putting traditional assets on chain really expands financial access to investors all across the world. By putting these traditional assets on chain, we can provide everyone globally with the tools they need to invest responsibly and build their wealth over time. US capital markets have been a driver of global wealth creation for decades, providing really stable returns and yield for investors. Unfortunately, too many people have been left out of that engine of wealth creation and wealth preservation. But tokenization in Ondo changes this. Take a stablecoin. It's essentially tokenized US dollars, cash, made available on a blockchain so it can move 24/7. While this represents a meaningful step change in global access, the downside of a stablecoin is that you're not earning any yield. You hold a stablecoin, you're essentially missing out on 4% return on your balance yearly. It's as if you're paying 4% fees on your balance every single year. We believe that investors deserve better, and that is why we started offering tokenized treasuries instead of cash. And that product clearly struck a nerve. The demand for tokenized treasuries exceeded our own expectations, with more than 1.4 billion in total value locked across our products. With that, we are the largest crypto-native tokenization company, counted by TBL and also by holders. This scale gives us the conviction that the next evolution of financial inclusion is not just possible, but truly inevitable. And that inevitability has finally come to Stellar. So today we are incredibly excited to share that the next evolution of stablecoins, USDY, as a premier tokenized treasury product, has arrived on Stellar. And with USDY on Stellar, Ondo and Stellar are pioneering the next natural evolution of stablecoins and real-world assets. This is meaningful because USDY means a few things. Number one, it allows holders to benefit from on-chain dollars, but dollars that earn yield daily. It also combines the global accessibility and utility of stablecoins with the investor protections, yield, and transparency of traditional institutional finance. It does all of this while remaining composable and permissionless, meaning that anyone can hold USDY. And with Stellar's growing DeFi ecosystem, USDY is a perfect fit. It is a more cost-effective asset for lending and borrowing, cash management, payments as a giant use case, all while earning yields for token holders. So in short, USDY is a better solution for everyone. Individuals can now access a digital dollar that works harder for them and actually earns the yield. Builders can access a new composable asset to power yield in wallets, DeFi apps, payments, and more. And institutions can access a credible and transparent stablecoin alternative with the best investor protections available on-chain. So in closing, just as stablecoins unlocked access to the US dollar we're unlocking a better form of on-chain money designed not just for payments, but also for global savings and innovation. USDY is now live and available across Stellar's leading wallets and applications, and it really is ready for you all to integrate, build on, and bring to the communities that you serve. We're incredibly excited for everything that you, the Stellar ecosystem, will be able to build and do. So good luck, and most importantly, thank you.
Woohoo! Thank you so much, Ian. That's huge news. Everyone give it up for USDY on Stellar. Amazing. Thank you so much for calling it and spending some time with us and marking that very first lightning talk with exciting news. We'll see you soon at the in person, hopefully the next event.
I'll be there. Thanks so much.
Okay, following that, we've got our next lightning talk. And while I don't know if he has any exciting announcements, he is definitely, I think, one of the coolest folks in the Stellar ecosystem. I'm handing it over to Dave from Etherfuse.
Thank you. I always have an exciting announcement. I want to talk about it's awesome that we're following Ondo because our products can be similar in many ways. But I wanted to talk about yield and also the future of stablecoin technology in this space. So appropriately titled, "Give Me Yield or Give Me Death." So first, we're Etherfuse. We have been tokenizing short-term debt or collateral from different countries around the world for the last 3.5 years. I believe we were one of the early asset tokenizers in this space. My brother and I co-founded this company. We both have extensive backgrounds in startups and payments around the world. We really have been trying to make finance and stablecoin technology accessible to everybody in a way that's meaningful to everybody. So the thesis of the problem that we kind of think about is, if I'm Brazilian in the future and stablecoin technologies is, permeated through the world, if I go buy a soda, I don't want to have to pay FX to go from my bank account to stablecoin rails and then FX again to make that payment. So today, with the way things are growing with US dollar dominance, I do have to pay that fee. And so Etherfuse attempts to make a compelling, similar product that is local to you. So we have two products today. I'm just going to talk about stable bonds, but stable bonds are tokenized short-term treasuries in your region issued as an interest-bearing stablecoin. And so as you hold these assets, they increase in yield denominated in your currency. So our first asset was in Mexico, which was tokenized by short-term Mexican treasuries called CETES. To go from a bank account in Mexico to our assets from retail or anywhere, it is free. So you can on-ramp yourself on-chain for free, and you are on-ramped into a yield-bearing asset. Our sovereign coins are assets that are built on top of our stable bond technology. So if we look at this market, there's a lot of opportunity. The foreign exchange market is 7.5 trillion a day. Remittances are 2.4 billion per day, and the global bond market is $2.3 billion a day. So stable bonds really attempts to create one product that provides a solution for your local region for each of these markets. And so what we've done is create this product that solves this problem. So if I am in Brazil and I want to send somebody money in Mexico, I have to first convert from the real to USDT, which has an FX hit. And then I have to go from USDT to MXN, which has another FX hit, which is unfortunate because all I want to do is give my friend in Mexico some money. So stable bonds attempts to make this easy by creating assets denominated in those currencies that are restriction-free and can exist on chain. So we can lower FX costs and we can create these rails. There's no intermediaries and there should be little to no slippage, just fees based on the supply curve and 24/7 access. So the product we're launching recently is this stable bond in Brazil called the Tesouro. Tesouro is an LTN, a fixed rate LTN, if you're familiar with short-term treasuries here, denominated in the real. And we have that today. And that enables Brazilians to get on-chain in a yield-bearing asset denominated in their currencies and avoid a lot of these fees. So with these products, I can go from USD to the or USDC. That should actually say BRL, sorry. I can go from BRL to the Tesoro with no FX fees. And then I can go, and while I'm doing that, I'm earning yield. From that, I can go from the Tesoro to CETES with on-chain FX, which is significantly cheaper than traditional rails. And then I can go from straight to CETES straight to MXN. So we have eliminated both the cost of FX and the need to FX in a foreign currency that's not relevant to what you're trying to do. Additionally, I can go straight from my local currency into a yield-bearing asset and back into my local currency for free. So you can put your treasury on chain, hold it on Stellar, go into credit markets, and there's no FX fees involved. The yield is available to you. So I'd like to introduce you to our Brazilian product, our stable bond. It's available 24/7, currently at about 13% APY. Basically, we pass on what the treasury gives to you, and it's available today. And we are Etherfuse. Thank you.
Let's give it up for Dave. One more time. Second lightning talk. We got a third one coming. And we have Adeola from Kredete. And he's coming up here to follow that up and be the last lightning talk before lunch. Here we go. Adeola, it's over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Give it up.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let me begin with a paradox. The places with the least money often move it the fastest. Imagine this, a banker from New York who wants to send £1,000 to London. Even with 2 advanced banking systems, it can take 1 to 2 business days and cost $30 in fees, obviously. Meanwhile, a farmer in Kenya who uses mobile money or M-Pesa can send 500 shillings to Uganda in seconds or even for free, depending on the service. Or a trader in Nigeria moving goods to Ghana through wallet rails can move money almost instantly. A student in Accra receiving fees can arrive faster than I could actually catch a check when I stepped into the US for the first time many years ago. That's the paradox. The future of finance isn't being delayed by complexities. It's being built right where people need it the most, where speed and cost matters more than prestige. That's the very place that we once called behind are now leading in money movement globally. What we often forget is money is not about prestige. It's about survival. It's not about skyscrapers with logos on them in Manhattan. It's about a grandmother in the car who depends on her remittance from her children abroad. It's about a shop owner in Lusaka who needs to restock inventory every week. It's about a mother in Nairobi who must pay her child's school fees on time and cannot depend on fees. For them, waiting 3 days for a wire transfer to clear is unacceptable. It's inconvenient. In fact, it's exploitation at best. You send $200 and you get $30 in fees. These are not really theoretical debates here about efficiency. These are lived realities that has forced the entire continent of Africa to innovate, where others are complacent. That's why the African story is so compelling. Let's consider Kenya, for example. M-Pesa was launched in roughly about 2007, where most people thought it was a niche experiment. I mean, I was one of them, I'm not going to lie. Fast forward to today, it's processed over 28 billion transactions a year and a value of over $300 billion. To put that in perspective, it's larger than many GDPs of many countries. M-Pesa didn't just build a product, it rewired an entire society. People who never have to step into a bank now have financial access at the palm of their hands. And this wasn't a small step. It's leapfrogging over decades of legacy infrastructure. Let's look at NIBS, the interpayment system in Nigeria. It's one of the fastest growing payments networks in the world. Within the first half of 2024 alone, it processed more than 5.6 billion transactions with a total value of over 476 trillion. And by the end of the year, it crossed 1 quadrillion mark. Yes, quadrillion. A number so large that even people on Wall Street would have to stop and count their zeros. And this is what is most striking. It's not about skill, but the speed. Transactions clear in seconds, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This is not luxury here. It is the default expectations of Nigerians who use the system to pay salaries, buy goods, and send money across banks. And the story doesn't really end with national rails across continents, borders, or becoming less of a barrier. It's more about bridges. Intra-African trade surpassed over 200 billion last year. Nigeria alone doubled within African neighboring countries, reaching about 18 billion in 2024. So Senegal can now trade with Cote d'Ivoire, Rwanda with Ghana, Kenya with Nigeria. Payments that once took days to confirm through corresponding banking rails and channels are now instant through mobile wallets and regional switches. The message is clear. Africa isn't waiting for permission no longer. We are already connected. And to the power of demographics, Africa has 1.4 billion people, most of them under the ages of 25. We are the youngest population in the world. Young people who grew digital first, mobile first, and now global first. For them, a bank isn't built on marble floors or glass counters. A bank is an app on their phone. A bank is a wallet they can control. A bank is a service that lets them send and receive payments instantly, no matter the hour or the border. These are not nostalgic moments for the past. Africans like me were impatient for the future. Now, this doesn't mean that we don't like traditional systems. They do matter. But the truth is they are expensive and slow. With corresponding banking rails, a simple payment can be 6 to 8% in fees. If you're lucky, on a good day, it can be 15%. That is 2 to 3 business days to settle. And they can create a layer of hidden costs in currency conversion, compliance check, and intermediary banks. For large corporations, these costs are tolerable. But for everyday people like me, we are punished with this cost. And that's where stablecoin changes the game. Stablecoin equates the playing field, settles transactions instantly, transparent, and near cost to zero. They remove the friction that hurts US to Ghana rails. On traditional rails, you lose $12 on a $200 transfer, but on stablecoin rails, the full $200 arrives in seconds. That difference is not abstracted. I'll make it very simple. It's school books, rent, medicine, and most importantly, opportunity. Stablecoin makes transactions faster, but most importantly, they make it fair. And this is where our work at Kredete really plays a huge role. We ask a simple question: what if remittances weren't just about sending money, but about building futures? Today, we have over 1 million active users. We've processed over 1 billion in volume and over 10 million in transactions. And we're just getting started, connecting people to 40 African countries. And here's how it works. Imagine an immigrant in the United States, let's say Houston, for example. Every month, she sends money home as a remittance. We call it black tax on the credit platform that also builds her US credit score. A single transaction strengthens 2 lives, her family's today and hers tomorrow. That is what the future of finance looks like. Borderless, boundless, and extremely building Africa's future. Our customers are not just about numbers, they are stories. A Nigerian taxi driver in New York who just came in 5 years ago can now qualify for a better car loan because his remittance has doubled his credit history. Or a Ghanaian nurse in London who can send money to her mother with near zero cost while building our own financial future abroad. A Senegalese trader in Dakar can receive instant payment from Ivory Coast and reinvest in a shop the same day. These are not delayed or distant examples. They are everyday people who lived different lives, but within the same system, and it works for all. We're only at the beginning. And I would like you to take something from my speech today. When you're being asked, where is the future of finance being built? Not in Manhattan. It's in Cairo. It's in Lagos. It's in Lusaka. It's in Nairobi. It's in Rio. Thank you very much.